Welcome, drone video fans, and this is the second part of my video showing the flooding on the Grand River recently. We have actually had some more rain, so I don't think that the flooding has gone down. You see me taking off here on the bridge. That this is a single lane bridge that goes across the Grand River at this point. And there's a couple of gals sitting there that came down and we're taking pictures of the flooding. And in the distance, there's a guy you can see walking across the road. That's the county engineer who's working on the on that alarm system that he set off just after I got out over the water here. And it was so loud I almost dropped my transmitter, but fortunately it didn't. You know, he had given me a warning that he was going to do that, but at any rate, we're going to see much more clearly in this video how fast the water is running. I'm descending now down to somewhere 4 or 5 feet above the water surface. Again, when I fly over water like this, I like to turn off the vision positioning sensor on the DJI Phantom 3 Advanced drone that I'm using here. And again, using the flight data that I have available to me after each flight, I can see, you know, the speeds that I was flying at various points and so on, and you can see the water moving there. And then as I throttle forward and pitch forward and go ahead and start going down the stream at about 9 miles an hour, you can see that the water is moving about somewhere between 9 and 10 miles an hour. Again, on either side, this river is never this wide. It's usually 5 or 10 feet in on either side of the shore, and so a lot of the property on either side is been inundated with the floodwaters here during this time. As we're coming up now onto some areas where you're going to see a little more visible indications of how much or how fast it's going. The sun is at my back. You can see the shadow of the drone there in the water. And we actually rounded a bend here, and so I'm no longer in visual line of sight. So I'm sort of flying via the NVIDIA tablet that I have attached to the transmitter. As we travel along here, you can see again how fast the water is running in the river, and we're coming up. You can see there in the distance. I wouldn't exactly say that it was white water, but there actually were a couple of times where you could see a little bit of white water action as the water is running very swiftly over something that's causing it to be very much disturbed. You see a bunch of rivulets, and we're coming up on it there. You can see on the right-hand side, it's very close to being white water. That's how fast the water is running. So we're going to kind of get down over this area here again and see the shadow of the drone there, and we're going over this area. You can see almost like the ripples and the waves. And remember, this is just a small river that's at this point maybe, I don't know, 6 feet deep, and we're sort of doing a pan around shot and give you an idea of the water streaming past me. It was there. You can see up ahead there. I guess you could call that white water, as much as I know what real whitewater rafting is like, having been on some in canoes and stuff. But believe me, this water is moving pretty fast, and if somebody threw you in, or my drone fell down inside of it, inside that river, it would be washed away very, very quickly. But we're turning around back here now. We're going to be heading back towards my launch point on the bridge. which you cannot see as I turn and face now back towards the east, because we're around that bend where you see the tree on the left-hand side there, and so we can't really see where I'm at. Now pay attention as we come up here. You're going to see a little whirlpool action right in front of us. There's some whirlpool action from the currents and the water, right there on the right hand side, and you know, there's those little eddies and whirlpools and the white water. And you know, really, I've been living in the area for quite some time, and this is like the first time that I had come down after a significant rain event and seen this river get like this. Now, further to the west, in the opposite direction of that we're going, there are some people who have houses along the river, and you know, they've had problem with flooding. They have actually have problems with flooding every year, but you know, if you're going to build on a floodplain, I guess you have to expect that. Coming up on the bridge there, you can see me standing on the bridge, kind of supporting myself against the rail so I don't get vertigo or anything like that while I'm watching the water, watching the monitor, and trying to stay focused and make sure that I avoid all the things that are vying for my attention. Looking underneath the bridge, and actually we're dropping down a little bit closer here to the water, just to get a better idea of how fast the water is running underneath the bridge. And you can see as I'm turning, that water is just going past at quite a rapid rate. The bridge is, you know, a fairly modern construction, having, you know, those concrete supports, and it's all steel. And in order to fly off of it, I had to take this drone off the bridge onto a dirt road, calibrate its gyros and compass, then walk back onto the bridge and take off from there, because there was just too much metal and iron around in this bridge to allow me to calibrate the magnetic compass prior to flight, which is you know, something the software will tell you if your compass is out of calibration before you take off. Anyways, we got a little bit of another bonus look out to the east there of the river, and we're just getting ready here to turn and land. I want to get into position here, and I'm checking for cars, because the last time I went to land, just as I was about to land, there was a car, so I stopped there for a second to watch, to make sure there were no cars coming in and I could land safely. Anyways, that was the trip showing both up and downstream on the Grand River during recent flooding. I hope you enjoyed it. We do a lot of shoots like this that are mostly nature in subject matter, and if you like that sort of thing, you know, stop back again. We try to post one every week or so. Subscribe if you'd like to, leave a comment if you'd like to, and thanks for stopping by. We appreciate all the people that have been watching and making comments, and we're going to fly up here close to where we took off from, where I have my little sack of batteries and stuff. Again, thanks for stopping. Leave a comment and subscribe if you'd like, and we'll catch you in the next video. Bye bye.